What do you mean there's not a source for a free audiobook download on the internet? Listen, go to audibletrial.com/bonfireside chat and get out of my sight.
Some of our landings were desperate adventures. We are now prepared to meet the inevitable counterattacks with power and with confidence.
My name is Gary Butterfield.
My name is Kole Ross.
I'm Will Owens.
And you're listening to Bonfireside Chat Appendix. It is an Undead Second Favorite,
where you reach out and touch the demon inside of us. And this week we are reading your errata from the previous episodes. I done fucked up and didn't put up the response call early enough. So, stuff is in flux because of the holidays. Y'all been hanging out with your families and such. We'll take your responses later. But yeah, we have some errata. And we are also joined, as you heard, again by Will. Thanks for sticking around, Will.
Oh, no problem.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
we can
you're
agree
welcome.
here at. Hey, no, thank you. We can agree here at Bonfireside Chat Industries that your family is more important than your responses to 1-3 and 1-4. However, when you're done with your family, we'll still be here for you.
Yeah.
So
keep that in the back of your thinking cap.
Yeah. So still send us our things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Who wants to get started with our corrections, our errata?
I will take us.
Okay.
This is Take via Contact, who says, I always had an alternative view for why the dull gold armor was in the swamp. This is referring to our theory's last episode in 5.2. My theory is that Selin Vinland died and her body was eaten away by that leech. This is supported by the fact that you don't see her character in Neutral Tendency. In White Tendency, she's alive. In Black Tendency, her angry black phantom is there. I have the same theory for all the other NPCs that only appear when there's World Tendency stuff required. Skirvir probably got himself killed falling down that hole in 2-2 in the normal game. I know White Tendency is required to open the gate in 1-1, but I don't remember if Meralda requires White Tendency to appear. She does not. Satsuki is the only exception since he's present in the regular game just on top of the gate and out of reach. So Meralda is a little bit weird in that. This is not Take, this is me. Meralda requires either white or black in order for that to open up, right?
Yeah, just to open the gate. It's an interesting idea, like the idea that you... Like, I actually like that idea a lot, that you're actually in a kind of a different universe when you have White World Tendency, like, and it's a divergent path.
It's like a different quantum state, almost.
Yeah, like in this world, Selin Vinland did this, in this other world she did this. That's really interesting. I wish that the game did a little bit more to back that up. Because, like, the examples you give it, are really compelling, and then there's just the contradictions to it.
Yeah.
Which make it a little bit frustrating, but it's a really good idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But what's his name? Skirvir is the only one who really has a reason to be dead at this point, or when you find him, right?
Yeah.
Like him and Selin are really just in dire straits no matter what.
Yeah, I'm going through my mind thinking back on all the NPCs who only appear in certain tendencies. A lot of times the NPC is there no matter what, but like in Latria, you can get the key that unlocks Rydell.
Yeah.
If you are in White Tendency, but he's there no matter what. So he got like that kind of like, so it's not like, in a better, I was trying to think of it in the same way we were actually talking about Dishonored, where like your actions just kind of improve the emotional weather of the area and change things. But it's not like I've made the world a better place, therefore this pile of bricks is not here. Like that's not as compelling as the idea of like maybe he wasn't captured if things are just kind of trending more positive.
Yeah.
It's an interesting idea, though.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Will?
I had never even thought about it like that. I kind of subscribe to maybe that there's different dimensions going on at one time. Maybe.
Mm-hmm. Things are placey-wacy.
Yeah, depending on if maybe the default is the non-pure tendencies, and then maybe if you're a jerk, there's a world where everything was like that in the black tendency, and then maybe the other way as well.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure. I can't explain it myself.
Yeah.
But did you know that when the game came out a few years ago, I think it was before you played it, they had, on Valentine's Day, it was called Black Valentines. And on the network, everybody's tendency was, their world tendency was set to pure black with no way to raise it. Did you know about that?
I knew about, they did a white, when they released the game on PSN, they did a pure white tendency to ease people in. I didn't know about Black Valentine's Day, though.
Yeah, there was, I guess when it was only out over here and in Japan and stuff, but it was pure black and it was terrible. I didn't play for about a week. So I couldn't get past 1-1 at that time. So,
I mean, that kind of sounds like what they did for pre-release on Dark Souls for all the people who got it early. How they just Black Phantomed everybody. But
yeah, that's funny.
That's hilarious. But as an actual worldwide event, that's kind of a bit much.
Yeah, I enjoy that kind of what do you call it? Anti-pirating is funny to me.
Yeah, that's the best.
Like a Game Dev Tycoon or whatever it was.
Yeah, there was one. Ooh, we're getting real nerdy. Football Manager. It's like a soccer management simulation.
I know Football Manager.
Yeah, got 400 hours in that. But if you
Jesus Christ, I was like just talking like people. I know people at work who play it, but wow. Okay.
Yeah, but if you pirate that game, they end up having like crap teams from Romania and stuff, like super low level. They'll all win the highest competition level. So it completely screws up the game world as anti-piracy instead of, your what have yous, your Manchester Uniteds and your Barcelonas and whatnot. They'll be defeated by like the local sports team,
I'm sure that there's a wonderful Tumblr that's like WTF Football Manager or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, why the fuck is Romania doing so good?
Yeah, you should see those posts because people they post that on the help forum and people are like, stop stealing my game, you jerk.
Yeah.
That's why it's happening.
That's really like targeted anti-piracy because like to somebody, such as myself, like let's say that piracy wouldn't affect me, because I'm not the kind of person who's that interested in that game. Like I don't know anything about soccer. It still lets me play the game. If I was interested in the game, I'd still play it and I don't care who wins. That's not really for me. But the kind of person who's going to get really invested in Football Manager is going to be really invested in that verisimilitude.
Yeah.
So it's like tailor made to bother them. Like it doesn't make the game unplayable. It's just going to offend them. Yeah, that's really brilliant. Yeah, that's really great. Good work.
Yeah. Good work, guys. You're making a bunch of money.
Yeah. Thanks, Take.
Thanks, Take.
Thank you, Take. You're making a bunch of money. Not from us, from somewhere. Eventually.
Check's in the mail.
Yeah. Man. So it's between you two for Brent.
All right. Do you want to take it, Will?
Okay. Brent says, via contact, I like the conjecture that the residents of the valley are made up of discarded children, but I never thought that the depraved ones were living in complete misery. While I doubt living there would be pleasant under any circumstances, I think that if they were left here as young children, they probably don't remember any life except that in the valley. With so many children growing up unsupervised, I imagine a Lord of the Flies type system of rulership developing. I also feel that their inexperience in all aspects of life lead to the rickety structures that serve as bridges, walls, and dwelling spaces. I might be speculating too much, but that's my take on it. And I'll say that's a very nihilistic take on it.
I like that idea though.
Yeah,
like the fact that things are, it's not just there because like the reason why everything is shoddily made because that's the best they can do.
Yeah.
Like they grew all their formative years were just inhaling methane and fighting off old Carl for the last scrap of human meat,
Well, I think it makes a lot of sense, yeah.
Well, think about it. It's an entire race of Jenkum junkies.
Yeah, exactly. Just Jenkum juicers.
Yeah.
Just,
but
I'm not going to live in a shed built by a Jenkum juicer.
No.
Why
would you?
I will live in a shed, though.
No. It's a high quality shed, though.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Give me a tough shed, even Home Depot shed.
If it's good enough for somebody's tools, it's good enough for me.
Yeah. Because what are we but tools? Thanks, Obama.
Yeah, but if it was more of a Lord of the Flies thing, I would expect more boulder traps.
Yeah, or just more like symbols of, kind of hierarchy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like ball, like the ball spawn. I like there's just not very much of a way of like hierarchy for it to be Lord of the Fliesy, but it could be specifically like kind of feral children, and these are what they build. Which makes sense. Like my ending cosmology thoughts for Demon Souls kind of necessitate them being miserable, so I'm going to sort of ascribe to the thing that supports my decision I've made. But I love that. That's a really great detail. Like, this is the best they can do. Yeah. And I don't think I ever thought less than that. Like, why else would you make a rickety shack like that? Like, you're not doing it like, this will look real cool when somebody tries to invade us. Of course it's the best they can do, but it's a really nice observation. Yeah. Like, they're trying to make houses. They don't know how. Mm-hmm. And that does give it this air of sadness, that I didn't really consider. And these little pups are trying. But poor pups.
Yeah. Poor pups. Poor plague Dr. Pups.
Yep. So if you have any other corrections from our last episode or anything to say about 1.3, 1.4, or the endgame, go to Duckfeed.tv/contact and lay it on us.
Yes. You can hit us there or the Facebook page, facebook.com/bonfiresidechat.
Yep. You can check out, very shortly, you can check out Will's relaunch of his blog, Backlog Killer. I don't even know what I said that first time. Yeah. I'm very hungry. I haven't eaten yet. And I was just like, that was literally something catching in my throat of me thinking about food I wanted to eat. So it's pretty gross, but I'll admit that to you guys. I feel very safe.
Hey, it's a safe place.
It's a safe place. There's nothing like admitting, especially if you're an overweight, depressed man, there's nowhere like the internet to talk about being hungry. It's the safest place. So, I feel totally confident.
No,
posting about that.
You're basically the wallpaper at that point.
Safest houses. Anywho, Backlog Killer is being relaunched shortly. Yeah. So check that out as well.
Yes, and shortly is relative, so keep that in mind.
Yep, check that out. No deadlines here.
Yeah, check that out soon.
Yep. Coming Q1 or Q2.
Put it in your RSS reader because it is 2004.
Yep, exactly. And the what else?
Other shows on the network. We don't need to list them all, but they are there. Specifically, Abject Suffering.
Yep, that's our push, our highlight show.
It's a good show. It's a good show. I enjoyed a lot.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. It's got the Will Owen stamp of approval. It swept the Willies last year. Yeah.
The Willies.
You can also go to our duckfeed.tv/tipjar. Use the Amazon referral link there. Read us, review us on iTunes is very helpful. There is the Hexcrank blog, survival horror blog. You can buy my Mario Paint album. It makes a great New Year's gift.
Oh yeah.
If you go back a couple days and it's New Year's, and the that's probably it for assignment style stuff.
I think so.
Yeah. And stay tuned for this year's Willies as well.
Yeah.
Coming soon.
I heard that you have Ashton Kutcher and Cameron Esposito hosting.
Am I going to get a +1 this year, Will? I don't have one, but just knowing that I can is kind of neat.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's packed. Who do we have? We got Robert Dyer.
Yep. It's a Lifetime Achievement Award.
We got Royale for Greatest Musical Act. We got... Maybe you can put these in the notes. We got...
If you mention it, Gary's writing it down. Good.
Larry Sanderson, Greatest Comedy Performance.
Yep.
Gary, I think I've sent you these. They're terrible.
Yep. And great pieces of YouTube esoterica. So,
yeah, it may be too advanced for
some users,
for humans.
Yeah, for some people. Or all these things and more can be found in the Willie, and they'll all get a big Willie Award bump. Excuse me. But okay, well, stay tuned for the Willies.
Yep. But in the meantime, we have some deleted scenes, and watch out for sticky white stuff.
Indeed. So the world might be mended.
Umbasa.
Umbasa.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Tane.
This is a dire rich.
This is a dire podcast. Yeah.
Gary, man. You just made like 10 people happy.
Gary, this is an idea.
Dire Straits.
Dire.
You got money
Dire
for nothing.
Straits.
And holy smokers, your chicks for free.
I love how he's always like, it's a great, if you're out Christmas shopping and you have $1.72 that you can spend.
Yeah, and you're a real Christmas meal. Everything is real to him, and especially when they are not even remotely real. Like that is one of his most used adjectives for this fake ass, like terrible food. What is that guy's life? Like, what is his day-to-day life? I don't understand that man at all. Like, and he eats so much garbage. How is he like not like what problems does he have health-wise? Because like based on this, like, and he's so calorie conscious. Like that's a big theme in his food. Is like, it's only 72 grams of saturated fat. It's about 1/3 of your daily supply. That's pretty good for $1.72 and for 300 calories. Like, what are you talking about? What is he getting at? I don't understand. Where are your priorities, Robert Dyer?
Yeah, he's always like, well, this is just about as good as it can get. It's got the great coating on it. It's got a nice color. I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 stars. I'm like, it's as good as it can get. That's 5 stars, big guy. What are you doing?
I guarantee that Stouffer's like meatloaf is not as good as it can get. I know you go to restaurants. I've seen it on your fucking channel.
It's like, this is your classic meatloaf.
Finally, a classic meatloaf. Goddamn weirdo. That guy is. I'm actually like 2 videos behind. Yeah,
I'm 6 or 7.
You gotta get into this shit because the other thing that happens, he introduced this character. Does the guy have a name? What's you? I keep calling him Tarnation Bob, but that's not his name.
I think so, but I don't remember.
He cuts to this guy and it's just him like dressed up in a tracksuit who's angry, and it's just him like just making the weirdest fucking jokes and then saying things and then hashtagging things. That like it's like he knows that hashtags are a thing, but he doesn't really understand like how they could improve brand equity or whatever. So it'll be like, I like to sit back with a big fat cigar, and then it'll be like hashtag big fat cigar. Like he's just using hashtags for emphasis.
As people on social media do.
Yeah, that is true. People do misuse hashtags. However, he is really trying to get his channel out there.
But he'll be talking. He's like, let's go to our resident cupcakes expert, and then it'll cut to this guy, and then he starts talking about like a list of demands from the president or something like that.
Yeah, it's real bonkers. Like I feel like this guy clearly has some problems. I feel a little bit bad laughing at him. However, it's like too unique not to look at.
So like 3 years down the line, is this going to be revealed as some kind of like horsey book style ARG?
I don't think so.
I don't think so, but he is like, there are times where he is trying to be funny and it is legitimately hilarious.
Okay.
There are also times where he's trying to be very serious and it's also hilarious. But there is some magic to this guy. Like there's something intentional about what he's doing that is actually very funny.
Okay.
Like I don't feel that.
It's supposed to be funny.
Yes, it is supposed to be funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel less bad about watching it. So.
Yeah, if you can handle like David Liebehart,
then
like this guy is not, it's about the same level. But yeah, God, it's so good, so good. Like and the Christmas during the 12 days of Vlogmas, he was doing that little like toy Santa phone that like showed up in every fucking episode for some reason, where he had to like take an important call from the North Pole.
I didn't see that.
He does it a lot. Like it shows up in a lot of them where he has this little plastic like Fisher Price Christmas phone and he presses the button on it and it just like plays this like fakey pre-recorded message. Like sometimes he would cut away to that Tarnation Bob guy and just be like, I've got an important call, Bob. And then he would just press the button on the thing and it would just be like, Santa is eagerly waiting your Christmas request. And then back to you, Bob. Hashtag back to you. Like it just, what is going on? What is this? Robert Dyer. So good for this world.
Tane.
Got an all-expenses-paid trip to space camp.
Yeah?
No. That's
Pretty amazing.
See, that seemed cooler than the real answer, which is I got a printer and a drawing tablet.
Ooh.
And also a lot of time to spend with my family, both mom's side and dad's side. So,
Cool. Good.
yeah. How about you?
It's pretty decent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been off work for a while. Like, it's my vacation, for the year is during winter break.
Yeah.
So that's nice. I've just been, like, a pretty useless lump.
Yeah.
I'm just playing a lot of video games. So nothing like sitting around in your underwear for days on end playing video games
To lift the
lighten your
spirits.
mood. Yeah. Nothing like staring at a screen for 16 hours a day.
Yeah.
So,
Which is what I do anyway.
Yeah, to get away from staring at a screen for 16 hours a day.
Yeah.
But, I still got some days left. I can pull it out.
Yeah.
Pull it out. Yeah, so
Cool.
I hope.
Yeah. Hey, Will.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, welcome. Welcome.
I brought you in mid conversation.
That's okay.
How are you celebrating Vlogmas, Will?
Trying to sleep a night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can you hear the dogs outside? It doesn't sound as bad now, but
You can, but it's not. I've heard worse.
Yeah.
man, it's been going for an hour. Just like that.
Do you live in the kind of neighborhood where it would help to just stick your head out the window and scream, "Shut those dogs up"?
No, because they beat their dogs anyway, so.
No.
Oh, well then
Hence
please
the barking.
don't. Yeah, it's a circle of life. Please don't stick your head out then, because then I would feel partially responsible for these dogs being hit.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I asked before and they said, oh, they protect us from robbers and things like that. I was like, you idiot, they'll just kill your dog if they want to get in your house.
They'll poison a steak.
Or a link of
Made
hot
myself
dogs.
sad.
Like
Yeah.
a link
I
of
saw-
sausages.
Yeah, I saw a sign outside that there's been a rash of rat poisonings killing dogs around here,
Oh,
so somebody's getting fed up. Yeah.
Jeez.
That sucks. Like
Yeah.
we had
Well,
in my
Move,
college
Will.
in my college neighborhood, we had a bunch of stray cats, and they were cool. They didn't like get into trouble or anything. They would just kind of like
Sit
run
there
around
and play their
and-
revival music and
yeah.
hit on all the girls. And,
Yeah, no. But then some asshole down the street started putting out antifreeze.
oh,
Wow.
Jesus.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, it's special place in hell for that kind of behavior.
Mhm. Yeah.
But did they bark at 2 a.m?
No, they just fucked really loudly.
Yeah.
Well.
I'm
eh.
a lot of dudes are into dog style sex. I'm gonna vote for cat style if I'm gonna do it, because I just like to scream
Yeah.
the whole time. Yeah,
And
just
then-
you just
and then
go
vomit?
at it.
Sound like you're dying when you're going at it.
Yeah, just the whole time. Just ah.
Well, it's just like Toby McGraw says. You got to fuck like you're dying.
Yeah. No, I
Nice,
haven't.
nice
he hasn't
Toby
cheered-
McGraw reference.
Yeah, he hasn't steered me wrong yet. So, the life advice of Professor McGraw has served me well in this world.
Yeah.
Is my sound okay? Can you hear me?
You got to dance like no one's dying. Yeah.
Dance like
good.
no one's dying. You gotta sing like nobody cares. And you gotta die like nobody's fucking you. Toby McGraw, 1968.
over a picture of Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
Tane.
No, you were busy building the brand, so that's cool.
Yeah, exactly. I was building brand equity by drunkenly eating chicken wings on camera. Yeah.
Wait, where can I see this?
On YouTube soon. We did our stream. We had our Drunk Souls drinking game last night. Me and Nick and Levi triple teamed it, beat it in 6.5 hours.
Nice.
Wow.
I've been working on my speed running, and I can get iron golem in 40 minutes now.
Jeez. That's
It's
good.
like it's still hard, and then after that I die a bunch, so I can't. I can get to bosses very easily, but I still just die against them, and I know I'm going to get to Ornstein and Smough and just hit a wall and not be able to do any better times.
Right.
So, But that first part, I've got pretty far down. We weren't really doing that last night, but you use a lot of the same tactics when you're trying to like do it in one sitting. You know, it's like, oh, you actually don't have to fight any of this stuff. Just go.
Yeah,
go.
Just beat feet.
Yep, he's got petite feet. But yeah, it was super fun. But we'll put it up on YouTube. It's really long, but it's got like camera and we did a big bunch of drinking game rules. So and we each brought a drink to the table, which was fun because there's they were pretty like I'm fine. I didn't get all hungover and sick or anything, but everybody brought a drink and think about like imagine this cocktail mixing in your stomach. So you got Levi brought whiskey and Coke.
Okay,
have a little caffeine. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Nick made Manhattans. I like a Manhattan.
for when you want to go 7 minutes between drinks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, pretty good.
I have to muddle. Anything that requires muddling something. I know.
And then I brought hot buttered rum.
Ugh.
So
gross.
I'd never had it before. I listened to a podcast on it, and I was like, I gotta try this.
Well, what's better than going to a 6-hour stream than to bring?
Yeah, exactly. Like, hey guys, what's going to match your 10 chicken wings, 2 Manhattans, and 2 Jack and Cokes?
It has some nasty ass eggnog sounding stuff.
It does have some eggnog-like properties. It's actually delicious, but it's not like getting drunk off it would be mind blowing. Like we each had one, and it tasted really good. And then it's like, okay, now let's actually drink because I couldn't chug one of those, and it got kind of cold.
I can't really swing hot alcoholic beverages. Like I've had like not Glühwein, but like mulled wine, where it's like it's served out of a crock pot, and like it's like a steamroller on my GI tract. I'm not sure.
I've been known to enjoy like a hot toddy. Like I'll do some tea and some honey and some whiskey.
Yeah,
some lemon. That's nice. It's good for your throat.
Yeah. I have heard that is a good folk remedy, but I don't much care for honey that much. So
yeah, well you don't put in so much that you
that you
really
notice
significantly
that there's
taste
honey.
it. Yeah. If it tastes like honey, you're doing it wrong. It's not mead. Like you're just doing it to take a little bit of the edge off.
You ever have mead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had mead. I've had commercial and homemade mead.
Yeah, I've had homemade mead before, and I was turned off by it because there was like a bug in it from the bottle. I was like, oh.
Well, don't blame mead.
Yeah.
For that. Also, in the future,
the guy
you could clone a dinosaur from that.
Yeah.
Out of that amber liquid.
Yeah. I'm not blaming mead so much for it. It's just that that spoiled my first impression because this guy didn't know what he was doing when he was brewing this stuff.
Yeah, it was purity.
Yeah.
It was just not up there.
Yeah, I have to respect the chemistry.
Yeah, well, I think the trick to any kind of drink is not to let bugs into it.
Yeah.
Like, you're pretty much solid gold as long as there's no insects.
Unless it's that special South American tea that's made out of bugs.
Yeah, bug tea they call it.
Yeah, bug tea.
Yeah, BT.
Is that really what they call it, or did you just come up with that?
Oh, I also made up that thing that.
I guarantee that's probably a thing.
Okay, yeah, I'm sure somebody somewhere has done that, like crushed up ants to make like a really sour formic acid drink or something.
Yeah.
They eat bee larvae over here. I've seen it.
Yeah. Have you ever tried it?
Nope.
No. Yeah.
I don't try any of the weird stuff.
A bee larva would look like there's just like a kind of like a white pupae slime.
Looks like a maggot. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's gross.
Yeah.
Like I'm not so like insect eating averse that I would never try it in a million years, but I don't think I could do like a maggot looking thing.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
No, it's been tea chat.
Tane.
Ow!
What?
You're just I don't because I know you've seen him a little bit. I would imagine like so me and Will bond over a Robert Dyer fascination, who makes a lot of real. He's real into mouth noises on mic.
Okay,
it's kind of one of his passions. It's one of my favorite things, and like the top 5 favorite things about him. I'm sure you watched one of those. Have you kept up with that guy at all?
What's his most notable thing that I would have seen that you linked on her?
He's the guy who does the food reviews.
Oh yeah. So he can prove that he's eating, that he's masticating.
Yeah. I don't know what exactly. I mean, he's doing a service, That much is clear, right? It's pretty much worth going deep on that guy. Like there are layers that get uncovered the more you kind of follow him. Like he's involved in local politics in Bethesda, Maryland. Like his last video, the last one I watched, he's talking about people who are political opponents downvoting his YouTube videos. Like it's real, and his videos they're just like reviews of Chips Ahoy and shit. It's fucking weird.
He's the guy who talks like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit like Robert Dyer.
Yeah.
I was going to do a whole intro. I was going to be like, Robert Dyer here, and welcome to the Bonfireside Chat, and holy smokers, and we got a good one for you.
Holy smokers.
It looks kind of like the guy from American Movie, a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Or like Harvey Picar's wife in American Splendor. Like,
Oh.
He's a real special guy. And
Yeah, I told you, Gary, he has a concept album on iTunes, right?
Yeah, I haven't listened to it yet.
Yeah.
I know that you listened to some of it.
Yeah, he's got a few albums up there.
What's the concept?
World War III, Armageddon.
Okay. So it's like him and Queenstrike are the people who explored that music. So
It's weird. It doesn't sound like him, but I think it's him.
Yeah.
I gotta check that out. Yeah, he's real special. He's a real consistent. Like now that YouTube has just become a place that I like have all these subscriptions now, so I just check it the same way I check like a Facebook or a Twitter. He's pretty consistent, and he's been doing this like the 12 days of Vlogmas for Christmas, and still going strong. So
Yeah.
and
Sorry to put you on blast, Gary, but the POW, that was Mark Maron.
okay. Oh, the POW. I thought you were just I was just doing the wet noises. Was all.
No. Just coffee.coop.
Just coffee.
Just shit my pants.
Yeah. I don't feel on blast. I feel intensely comfortable with you men.
So do you want me to do the 15-minute monologue intro? Or
Yeah.
Yeah, how are things with you and your wife?
How do you feel
Just
this
get into
set?
it, right? Yeah, we won't feel uncomfortable at all.
Dad chat.
Well-
Let's go.
Yeah. How are you feeling?
I think this guy at work doesn't like me, but I don't know, but I'm going to hold it inside and talk about it in public.
Yeah. And then I'm going to interview some like traveling comedian, that you never heard of.
Yeah.
Or like Jay Mascis. So
I've only ever listened to one WTF. It was the one with the yeah dude guys. And
you listen to the Louis C.K. one.
Yeah.
I think if you listen to one of them, that's the one to listen to.
yeah.
Just if you like the person, listen to it is the thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if your like of the person is more than your dislike of Mark Maron.
And that's that's the hard one because he has a bunch of people that I like on there. I hate it when he interviews musicians. So I lied.
Oh, I don't like that.
Sometimes just he'll interview musicians that I like, and it's like, oh man, my second love is comedy, man. Or not comedy, but definitely comedy. Music, gonna shred, blah blah blah. Like you're just vicariously trying to be a musician by knowing musicians, aren't you?
Yeah,
But he sucks up to them, and then he looks down on all the other comedians.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty intolerable. Like I got real into him when I first discovered it, and I was like, "Oh, these are great," and then mainlined them until it was just poisonous, and I had to stop listening to him altogether. Like I just listened to a couple, every once in a while he'll have somebody on who I'm interested in enough to check it out, but I find him pretty obnoxious now.
One of the funniest things about his show, there was a New York Times Magazine article about him. And about that show, like a couple years back. So like 2011 was when I was hungry and working at that radio station that read those magazines. And they couldn't name the podcast because they didn't want to put WTF in the New York Times Magazine. So they're talking about the Mark Maron podcast, but not actually saying the name of it.
Not saying the name of it.
Thus, like not negating, but let's say nullifying some of like any of the actual publicity that he would have gotten from this legitimately really huge media channel.
It's funny that they wouldn't, because WTF is already, obfuscating.
Yeah, so saturated.
Yeah, well, it's already. Well, I'm just saying it's already not saying the naughty thing.
Yeah. They said it's an acronym that we cannot print in this publication.
Yeah, well, I guarantee they probably use like snafu or foobar or something like that in there. Yeah.
Tane.
Tane.
Tane orbs.
Tane I can get into. So
Oh my god!
give me a printout of Rooster smiling.
Oh man!
Can you kick up the 40 3D 3?
3D3.
Barnacle Jim's face is long.
Sorry.
No, you shouldn't apologize for that.
I forgot about the ending.
Give me a printout of Rooster smiling is one of my favorite things that's happened on there. Yeah. And that picture he has, him smiling is so good.
It's literally it's my favorite Tim and Eric sketch ever.
It's so good. Give me a Rooster smiling.
Because he's sitting there watching a thing and his face brightens he gets an idea and he starts typing furiously. It's just, add sequenced oyster.
I think we're laughing at different things.
We might be. What is your Tane?
Oh, Tane. That's a FYID thing.
It's also related, I think.
Is it also? I think originally. When I'm laughing, or not laughing necessarily, but when I see somebody on the internet mentioning Tane, which Tane are they mentioning? Are they mentioning the Tane I know?
How's it spelled?
I think Tayne.
Oh. Yeah, that's the one. That's the Tim and Eric one.
That's my Tane.
Yeah,
Tane. I actually mentioned it in the FYAD thing, but
yeah, okay.
It's either way's fine.
Yeah,
it's a thing. One of the posters, that guy Sober Prospector, he just started a thing where he just tried to get the phrase "tane" trending, and that's literally all there is to it.
Yeah, really, that's all there is to it. But
and he tried so hard that it turned from terrible into funny.
Yep.
So now people will be just talking about racist slander and stuff, and then the next post will just say "tane."
Yeah, it's taken on a life of its own, and that's why I laughed. Just because it crept into an unexpected area of my internet life.
We live in a world rich in Tanes. It used to be we used to have jobs.
Yeah.
Hope. Tanes. And now
all that's left is the Tanes.
Yeah, now all we have is Tane.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Tane.
So now that I'm looking at this, I recognize what the Tim and Eric Tane is. There's a rich tradition of Tane.
Yeah, Tane gets around, man.
There's a lot of Tane.
Oh man, we're drowning in Tane.
Rooster smiling.
Sorry, Gary. It's oyster. Oyster.
Well, who is it? Oh, you're right. It's not oyster. You're right. Who's the other guy? There's three guys though.
Okay, there's Celery Man.
Okay. Yeah.
Oyster and Tane.
That's right. Celery Man was what I was forgetting about.
I'd like to see what else is on his hard drive, though.
And this Cerebro.
Yeah.
All right, let's bash this extra out so I can eat some dinner.
Yeah, I need to eat breakfast and lunch.
Yeah. I need to go.
I have the meal for you.
Yeah, well,
lunch. It's gonna blow your mind.
Yeah.
And we all pray that we will have far more soon